Blake Cousins. Welcome back, everybody, from around the world. It was an amazing day today. It was so strange and weird. I'm showing you some video that we're uploading on our YouTube channel, a phenomenon that only takes place here in the Pacific. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the world, and it's basically known as the phenomenon, the Lahaina noon. That's right, the Lahaina noon. If you're looking at this video right now, today, approximately around, 12:16 p.m., it lasted for about 15 to 20 minutes. And what happened doesn't happen anywhere else on the planet except here. There was no shadows cast whatsoever. It was basically the sun was exactly overhead from where we stood here on the Big Island of Hawaii, and there was no shadow whatsoever. This is not an illusion. And any vertical object, basically, the phenomenon known as the Lahaina noon, was present, but there was no shadow present. And it was quite interesting, very rare. And again, it never happens anywhere else on the planet, and it happened today. So we managed to do this experiment, film this, and see if it was true. And again, yet no shadow was cast whatsoever. So it was quite interesting to be part of that. One place on the planet, to be in the right place at the right time, get the cameras out, and to see if this phenomenon is real. And it sure was. It was quite bizarre. All right, so let's get back to more bizarre cases of the UFO phenomenon. That's what we want to hear about. So we're opening up the lines tonight. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. You've got something you want to share tonight. We want to hear a good story. That means a beginning, middle, and end, concise, clear. And if you got something you want to share, press number 1 on whatever device you're using, your keypad or anything. Press number 1 and you'll get taken straight to the top. So let's bring in the callers. Let's get to it. Area code 815. You're live on Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going? Where are you calling in from?
Illinois.
All right. Well, you got something you want to share tonight? Go ahead. Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Well, this started when I was a kid, and I don't remember how it happened, but there are 2 small dots in the middle of my fingers. And one time I was watching TV, and there was a program on. I can't find it anywhere, but I know I remember watching it. And there was a young boy on it that had the same thing inside of his knee. And it was like a piece of glass, but it had a piece of finger. And no matter how many times I tried to pull it out, it never came out. I mean, I could wiggle it around, and it never. That happened. I watched the program. I was like, this is the same thing I have inside my finger. And you could see it. You could feel it. You could see it. So after a while, I went to camp, and it came out at camp. Well, I told the counselors, I was like, can I please take this home with me? I said it came right out on the last day of summer camp. So we put it in a bag. I put it in my bag inside of a pair of jeans. So we get home, and I was like, oh, my God, Mom, it came out. You have to see it. I go inside the pair of jeans, and it's gone. It's missing. It just ended up disappearing on me. And it was a clear plastic bag, and nothing was in it.
So now we have a case of maybe an alien implant disappearing from out of nowhere. Do you think somebody may have stole it from you, or was there some other kind of possible reason? What do you think?
The entire bus ride home, and it disappeared. The plastic bag was still in my pocket, but the piece that came out of my finger was not in the bag anymore.
What do you
And
think it
and
may
it's
have?
on my middle finger, and it's on my pointer finger on my right hand.
Do you think it possibly may have dissolved into basically thin air, dematerialized? What did the object look like, in your opinion? What was it made of?
That I don't know, because there was no liquid. It was just a
What did it
regular
look
bag.
like? What did the object look like that came out of your finger? What do you think it was made out of?
I have no. It felt like glass, because you could see it when it was out of my finger. Because I could mess with it, I can pull it, I could try to pull it out, and it wouldn't come out for nothing. And then it came out, and it was glass shaped. It was small and it was tiny, like a pebble.
Let me ask you: Have you ever been around shattered glass at one point in your life, like a broken wine glass, or maybe a window shattering? Because some of these shatters could result in this kind of instance where a glass shard could stay embedded within your skin for years and then finally come out. Do you recall being around any shattered glass anytime in your life?
Well, yeah, of course, but I've never picked it up with my hands, because this was not it, because it was in my finger. I mean, you can feel the bump where it is, like where it was.
Do you recall any kind of alien visitation or a UFO sighting in your past?
Oh, I've seen stuff all my life in the sky. Before I and my husband were driving down in going to his house, and there was this white. I mean, it was pitch black, and all of a sudden you could see this white light, like zoom in so fast, like it was coming towards you, and then all of a sudden it disappeared, like within a split second. And then I've seen stuff out in my grandparents' house where they live in the country. I mean, I can tell what planes are. I've seen stuff. It's just amazing.
Some people are saying that the possibility of the missing possible alien implant, it's hard saying exactly what it is. Usually alien implants coincide with alien abduction cases, and maybe you've had one in the past, I'm not sure. But did you see any maybe action of the Men in Black when this thing mysteriously disappeared from the plastic bag?
If I have, I must have blocked it out or something, because I don't remember seeing them or even being face to face with anybody.
Well, it's definitely a strange thing. You pull something out, you want to hold it as evidence, you're ready to bring it home to show your family, like, hey, look, I finally picked this thing out, and here it is. It looks like glass, but it might be something else, and then it's all of a sudden it's not there. I don't know. It's kind of weird, especially when you want to show somebody this. And so maybe the glass could have cut a hole in the plastic and fallen out, or maybe there was something that has to do in regards to a UFO phenomenon, alien evidence disappearing. It happens all the time. We've heard the vice president, and somebody told us, he didn't want to tell us which vice president of ours did this, but he actually ordered the destruction of the craft that crashed at Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. The vice president thought the technology was way too advanced, and he gave an order to Area 51 to destroy the evidence as best as possible. And if you couldn't destroy it, spread it out as in a way that nobody could ever access this technology ever again. I don't know. I think the vice president, whoever he was, that's a bad move, in my opinion. He should have shared it with the world and let the people analyze it, scientists, the public, everybody. Put it in the museum, guys. Doesn't make much sense, as Mike Massad just quoted in Flash Chat. Okay, we're going to go to area code 817. Hey, thanks for calling in. 817, you're with us now live, Third Phase Moon. You got something you want to share tonight? What's on your mind? Where are you calling in from? Area code 817, you're up live. You press number 1. You wanted to get to the top. You're here. You there? Maybe area code 817 is being abducted as we speak. So we're going to drop him. Maybe he's got to call back. Let's go to, well, it's not the freeway, but it's an area code number 405. You made it to the show. Where are you calling in from?
Well, Blake, how are you doing this evening? This is David McCarty from Hope, Arkansas.
David, hey, welcome to the show. Yeah, doing great tonight. What's on your mind?
Shoot, Blake, I don't know. I've had a lot of experiences here in the last few years. The most recent, I guess, weirdest thing I've ever seen about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, I was sitting in the car right out in front of my house here, in front of my apartment, and there were these 2 jet airplanes flying in the sky. There was like one that was like a big airliner type, leaving big like 4 contrails, and there was one that looked more like maybe it was like a little fighter jet or something that was like above and to the left of it, it looked like. And they were kind of off in the distance, and it was getting towards evening time, but they were really brightly illuminated by the setting sun. But like the big jet just disappeared. And my mother saw this too. She was sitting in the driver's seat of the car, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and we both saw this. And it's not sun glint, because not only did the plane disappear, but the whole contrail behind it completely just vanished. And the little fighter jet was still there, and the plane just completely went away, and it stayed gone for about 15 or 20 seconds, and then it came back. And, I mean, it just went out, and it just came right back. And you could see the other plane, which was not far from it, the whole complete time. And then, this is the part I got on video. There was a UFO that appeared. Like, I was trying to film the plane with my camera to see if it was going to disappear again. And then my mom says, hey, there's a speck up there that just showed up. And so I got that on camera. And when you zoom it in, it's like this speck is like morphing from one shape to another. But I think that has to be a UFO or some sort of alien hybrid technology, and they're doing some sort of cloaking experiment with it, because the plane obviously disappeared. I'm not the only one that saw it.
And you say this happened in Arkansas, and your mom was there, so there's, you got multiple eyewitnesses, and you know what planes look like, and planes don't disappear in midair. Where can we see this video? I want to take a look at this.
The video that I took is on my YouTube channel. It's David McCarty. If you type in David McCarty on YouTube, I usually show up as the top result. I'm the guy with the camera in front of my face. And, we're about, I'd say, I don't know, an hour or so from Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, which is like one of the top Air Force bases in the country. And in fact, whenever 9/11 happened and they scooped up President Bush and took him away from Florida, the first place they landed Air Force One was in Shreveport at Barksdale. And you see military planes all the time. I know several years ago, I was in my mom's backyard in the afternoon, just about in the middle of the afternoon. It was brightly lit. It was very quiet. And you could hear the helicopters coming. And you could tell they were in the area. But you really see how that stealth technology works, because you can tell there's a helicopter approaching, but you can't tell which direction it's coming from until they come over the tree line. And then there's like 4 Apache helicopters just right there, you know. So the stealth technology that's known to the public is very sophisticated, obviously extremely effective. So you can only imagine the level of secret technology, and, you know, I'm certain that some of it is indeed alien hybrid technology. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I absolutely 100% agree with you. It happened all of a sudden. This technology came out of nowhere. Man has been, you know, around for a long time, and all of a sudden, the technology, the digital age communication just went into hyperdrive right after 1947. It must have come from somewhere. Bell and Dell and all these major companies boomed within 2 years of this mysterious crash that the Army admitted to recovered flying saucer. And we spoke to Jesse Marcel Jr. and Jesse Marcel's sister. These were kids that were actually able to handle the material that Jesse Marcel brought home after, he brought some of that material home that he was that they found over there in Roswell, New Mexico. And, shortly after Jesse Marcel Jr. came on our show, he passed away, but he was able to tell us his experience of what it's like to deal with this extraterrestrial material. Everybody, stay tuned. We got a lot more phone calls to get to. Stand by, everybody. Blake Cousins. We'll be right back. That's Deja Vu from our favorite soundtrack artist, Paul Barrett. All his tunes are available on iTunes and Amazon. There, you guys want to check it out. I think we're up to 3 Paul Barrett albums so far. It's puts out some good stuff. Okay, now we're going to bring in the calls. Get ready. If you press number 1, you're going to be coming up on Third Phase of the Moon tonight. So let's bring them in. Let's go to Los Angeles, area code 310. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Blake. How you doing?
Doing great.
Hello?
Hey, what's on your mind tonight? Yeah, what's your name?
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
First of all, I like to keep my name unknown and my location. The reason why that is because I don't know how to start, first of all. I'm kind of nervous, but I like to tell you a lot of information that is pretty top
Sure,
secret.
sure.
I am a
Top
celebrity artist, and I work for a lot of TV shows in Hollywood, and I've been surrounded by a lot of groups that are really powerful, and I've been trying to contact you for a while now. I've emailed you, and it seems like there's somebody that has been trying to stop me from reaching you and, giving you my information. I also tried to contact you recently through a Facebook account, and my account got disabled. And, the reason why is that is because I am kind of being watched by I don't know who. But the reason why I'm calling is because I've been contacted by the Andromeda, and I would like to know, and I hope that there is more people out there that have been experiencing this type of stuff because, first of all, it all started when I was young. And recently, a couple of weeks, they contacted me again. And what I mean about saying that is that I've been gone for weeks, and sometimes I appear in random places that I've never been before. And they have recently, first of all, it all started when I was young, that I was taken to the Andromeda constellation. And there I saw these beings that they freaked me out, but the whole time that I was there, I had to find a way out. So recently I had this dream again in the same location, but this time they interacted with me and gave me a lot of messages. First of all, I was in this huge place, and it was so huge. It was hundreds of levels there, and everybody there it looked like they were humans, but they were not. They had different eyes. They all looked like they had suits, and they was just all walking around me. And I knew that I was in this location. I knew that they had took me to the same location where, like, I remember everything, the same buildings, everything, but this place is so huge. And I was there, and I saw these beings again while I was going down the levels. It's like so many levels. He's like, I don't know if it's a spaceship, but let me tell you, when I went down, it was like this restaurant. And these guys, I saw the same guys again, and they were all bald, look fat, kind of ugly, like they don't have no hair, and they were trying to make me eat there. So while I try to go get out of there, they follow me, like they appear out of nowhere. But this whole time I'm talking to these beings telepathically, like I'm not talking everything. They read my thoughts and everything, and I was trying to tell them get away from me, and they finally did. And I asked one of those people, I was like, the people that was walking around me, which knew they were not human, but they looked human. I asked them, who are they? And they told me, oh, those are the Andromedans. And I was like, okay. So after that, I started walking, and it was like these huge buildings, like they looked like Walmarts. And there I saw a couple humans, like people that they looked just like me, and they told me that they had been taken there. And I also told this information to some people from NASA that are friends of mine, and they confirmed that this information is real, that there has been abductions of real humans that are being taken to this constellation. So that's why this is the reason why I'm calling, because I hope that there is other people out there that are willing to come out and say that they're also experiencing this, because this is so deep and there is so much information I could tell you right now that it will have people's minds blown. But I don't know if you're listening, but I'm kind of nervous, and I wanted to get this information. There is so many things and messages, and I have actual footage and pictures of this location that I took with my phone.
You got pictures of locations of being to other constellations?
Yes. I had my phone the whole time, and I also have these other. It's like this little device that is like a little small metal thing, and it has like a red triangle in the middle. And this appeared when I was like little, and I've always kept it. But recently, how this happened was I was just kind of bored, and the people was like, hey, you should play the Ouija board. And I was like, well, you're not supposed to play that alone. So one night when this happened, I was kind of bored, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and draw one. Let me ask if there's, and my question was, if there's anyone, I only make like 2 questions. I was like, if there's anybody here, I never said goodbye, but I said, if there is anybody out there that would like to say anything to me, do it now. And I kind of looked at it, and I went to sleep. Like, out of nowhere, I got real sleepy. But when this experience happened, my actual window broke. Like, I don't know if I came through there or how that happened, but then I woke up right in the bed, and my iMac was on, and on the iMac, it was a gray alien looking at me. Like, it was like an actual YouTube video, and the time that I woke up, it was exactly 3:05 a.m. So this is
okay.
This is pretty.
This is amazing. Let me start from the beginning a little bit. Let's back it up, because what you're telling me, I'm looking forward to this video footage that you shot on your iPhone. Now, this is, or I don't know what kind of phone you got, but I'm just saying, you got something on your cell phone of this trip to another constellation. Correct in stating this, you got this amazing adventure aboard an extraterrestrial craft of your adventure?
Yeah, I actually have it, and this is why I want to keep myself anonymous. I will release this footage. I will release these pictures, and I will release some of the messages that have been given to me. This information is so real that even just talking about it gives me chills. But this stuff is real. I want to, let the people know this stuff is real. This has happened to me. You're gonna see the footages. Like, I'm gonna send them to Blake. But I don't want to say who I am for just protection. I know that I've been watched. They recently, I don't know if I was visited by the black man, but they visited one of my homes, and they 2 people all wearing all black pulled up on a black Escalade, and they somehow broke in my house and stole the camera footages, and somehow they messed up all my cameras. I have cameras all over my house.
We just lost area code 310. He just dropped out. I know people are saying where he's calling from, and area code 310, in my opinion, is the South Bay. I'm pretty familiar with that number. But we have just lost area code 310, and he's just about to share with us. He says he's got the footage. Brent, take down his number. We do have his full number. We'll try and get in contact with him and see if we could bring him back. Because if he's saying exactly what we just heard, then we need to follow up on this. So whoever you are, he says he's like a major high-end, music. He's in the music industry, maybe a singer. Does anybody recognize this guy's voice? I was about to ask him. He sounds nervous. And to me, when you're a performer in the music industry and you're calling up Third Phase Moon on the radio show, you should kind of be prepared, not really nervous, but I guess he was. You never know what's one's thoughts, especially when they're trying to share their sensitive information. Wow, that was interesting. I don't know what to make of it. What do you guys think? Was he legit? If you're listening, area code 310, just go to my email. It's on every single upload that I do in my description, and just go to my YouTube channel. My email is there. Upload your video on your Google Drive and send it to me. And definitely, if you want to stay anonymous, well, we have no problem with that. We could understand some of the sensitive ramifications of going public sometimes, but we also urge people to go public as well. But I want to see the video. If it stands on its own, we'll put it out there. Area code 310, if you're out there, call back. I don't know why you got shut down or what the heck just happened. We've got more callers coming up. We'll be right back. That last caller, you don't know. Was it the real deal? Who is this pop star? If he's a pop star. Again, area code 310, whoever you were. I don't know what happened to you, but call back. Call back. We're going to be broadcasting for about 20 more minutes. So if we could get back in, that'd be great. We're going to go to more callers right now. Let's go to area code 908. Hey, thanks for waiting, and welcome to Third Phase of Moon. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Blake. Hello?
Yeah, you made it to the show. Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear. What's on your mind? Go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks. Glad to be tuning in. Heard about your show, and it's been quite a while since my last experience with this kind of stuff. But I've been always tuning in since then. But I never thought it would happen. But one day, I was actually driving in the car in the middle of a country part of New Jersey called Warren Township, and it's very open country areas and lands. And it was getting around twilight, maybe 7 at night, 7:30, and a wide open field, and we're driving. And out of nowhere, I look up to the skies because I'm always keeping my eyes on the skies, and you have to. And I never thought I'd see it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, thank you. And all of a sudden, I just saw these three orange orb things in the sky. And at first, I didn't know what they were. I thought, maybe we were getting bombed or something. And I did have the video footage, but it was on my old phone. And hopefully, I could recover that because it was some pretty good clear footage of these three orbs kind of in the skies, and they were going in these patterns that didn't really, seem like a, craft or any kind of technology from this world, just because they would get bigger, they would get smaller, and they would move in these different patterns that didn't seem very similar to any human technology. And, I thought I was freaking out. I thought it was, a bomb or something, and I did some research. I followed up, and turns out there's a website, and there's all these, instances of these orange orbs, So I kept doing some research, and all these orbs are popping up, and specifically there's this New Jersey UFO website, and most of the people who submit, experiences on there have all seen these orbs, and they're all orange colored. So I know, just wondering if you had any take on that.
Well, yeah, the thing is, some people will claim that these orbs are nothing but Chinese lanterns, and let me tell you, there's a totally big difference. Some people will easily dismiss an orb as a Chinese lantern, and what would you have to say to anybody that says, "Well, all you saw was a Chinese lantern"?
Yeah, I mean, actually, that was one of the things that after I did some research, I was looking it up, but I did see some videos of actual Chinese lanterns and other videos, and there's definitely a difference in a lantern that just floats around, and an orb that moves in these different patterns. It hovers there, and then it moves in these inconsistent paths that seem, orchestrated, as opposed to a lantern that kind of just, floats. I'm not, an expert, but I don't think they have any,
sure
guidance.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
recently after Kurt Russell admitted that he was there on board his private plane while flying back in '97 above Phoenix, and he witnessed the famous Phoenix lights, and he actually made a call in and made notes of it. And these aren't Chinese lanterns, people. Some of them are, and a lot of them are misidentified. But then there are a lot of these things that, hey, these are definitely something's going on. Are they biological? Are they interdimensional, or are they part of a larger craft? It's hard to tell. But New Jersey, there's a lot of hot spot. It's a little hot spot for that phenomenon for sure. The whole world is, but especially out there when you're dealing in like areas that, like you're saying, it was kind of out there, not so populated. Correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Spot on. Yeah, and exactly. There's always, I'm not saying some of the footage that people capture, some of them could be Chinese lanterns for sure, but some of the things I've seen, with my own eyes and, from other people's video footage, there's definitely a difference.
I've actually heard that some of these orbs actually make like a crackling noise of some sort, like it's almost like static electricity. I'm sure there's different kinds of plasmic orbs in this phenomenon. There are different reasons behind some of these sightings, and not one of them is always what you think it might be. There's probably multiple reasons for some of these sightings, and different reasons behind it as well. Natural phenomenon comes to mind too. But wow, well, thanks for the call, and it's good to follow up and do some study on a sighting. That's important as well. So good job on that. Thanks for calling in. See, we could have time maybe for a couple more callers, or somebody's got a great story. We'll maybe extend a little longer. Area code 505. You're live, Third Phase of the Moon. Thanks for waiting. Welcome to the show.
That's me. Is that me?
Oh, yeah, that's you. Yep, we got you loud and clear. How you doing? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from northern New Mexico.
All right,
by Los Alamos.
Los Alamos, okay. Well, that's a famous military base. What's going on? What'd you see?
Well, I was brought up here, and I could see the mountains from where I live. I could see the Los Alamos Bay, where they have they have their little town. And so it happened in '91. We're outside. We're skinning a deer. So I look up to the sky, and I see, this light, a bigger light fly by, probably about 500 to 800 feet in the air. It flew, and then there's a little light that flew by it, and then the bigger one stopped, and the little one, circled around it and stayed by it, and it moved from one part of the sky to the other, too fast. And then they both moved to one part of the sky, and they stayed dancing, and then they moved to the other part of the sky. And then I showed a couple people that were there, and they freaked out, and we knew it was different. So then another couple years later, I'm with a scientist who helped make part of the atomic bomb in Los Alamos. He helped make part of the first atomic bomb, and he was an elderly by this time. We went horseback by where we saw these lights when I'd seen him 2 years before, and we went horseback. This scientist, he liked to ride the horses right down here, down the hill from Los Alamos.
Wow,
so we go with
amazing.
him.
That's amazing. Are you part of the
tribe? So we.
Or, are you?
Excuse me?
Are you? Yeah. What's your name?
Yeah, they're Indians that we live around here, but we went on horseback, and he took us to this spot, and it had 3 holes in the ground. And if something had blew a hole in the ground, the holes were probably about a foot deep. And it was in a triangle. It was one hole, another hole in a triangle shape. And it something had lowered and blew out the dust and made holes. It was like a lot of sand back there. It was like a lot of sand. And that's when I knew. I asked Bob. His name was Bob. His name was Robert Fitzhugh. And I told him, Bob, you're a scientist. Do you know what this is? And he didn't know what it was. He talked about the fires underground in Los Alamos, these places where they worked, and you had to turn the fire off before going into these doors to these private places. He talked about all these private things, but he did not know what these holes were. And that's when I knew that these lights in the sky that I'd seen a couple years before, I knew that that's what that had to have been that was landing back there. Because we took the horses, and he was a scientist, he knew everything, and he didn't know what it was. So that confirmed that what I saw in the sky, and I know that there's stuff out there, that whatever created these aliens or whatever created us, I believe, created everything. And it was just confirmation for me that there is stuff out there, because I saw where they landed. The scientists didn't know, So what do you say? What do you say about that?
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. What was the scientist's name again? And you say
his name was
Robert. Go ahead.
His name was Robert Fitzhugh.
And he
moved from Michigan.
He was part of the nuclear development of the atomic bomb over there in Los Alamos. And and he couldn't explain what's going on. You guys are out there on horseback, and you may have come across an actual extraterrestrial residue of a landing. Residue still existed over there. Wow.
Yeah.
So can you get back to this place? Is there still a residue of this exact location? How far are you away from it?
And I believe there's probably more. It's right here. It's on public land. They have all the horse trails. People are going through there now. He made practically all the horse trails because he moved here. He was 21. He passed away. He was already 80 or whatever, 90 or whatever. So he made all these trails, and now you have all these people going through these trails. And I don't know if any of them have seen this, but I do know that a lot of tourists have been coming through these trails now. And we're just right down here in the valley, right below Los Alamos, so I've seen a couple other lights that have like kind of like it seemed like if they were teleporting or something, because there was a shiny streak in the sky, like you would never believe it, like shine for like if something was like being faxed or something to a building, and I could see this shiny thing go down to the building up in Albuquerque, and it's this stuff that you see in the skies here in New Mexico. But I know there's stuff out there, that's not a question for me. It's just amazing to, hear all you guys talk about all your stuff, and I know that I'm not the only one.
Well, yeah, that's an understatement, and what a great call. You should almost do some kind of follow-up, do a report on this, videotape, do almost a documentary of this event, because we're going to share this on Third Phase of Moon, but wow, this is a really neat story with a scientist with his knowledge, and he couldn't explain what's going on. What did it look like to you exactly, the landing impressions? What really stood out that made you think and the scientists believe that this isn't normal?
It was because the way the holes were, like, they weren't made by a tool. You could tell that something blew the hole and pushed the sand out and left. That was interesting. I would like to I'll try to go find it again. I'll take pictures, I'll try to go locate that place. Maybe I'll bump into more.
Yeah. Now we're talking. And what would you be able to? You should film yourself on this event. You got an iPhone, some kind of iPhone Plus that shoots, in decent quality. These cell phones are amazing nowadays. You should do a hunt and film yourself go on this hunt looking for this residue of extraterrestrial, landing.
Yeah, I will go in. I will, and I haven't been there in about 10 years, but I'm sure we could find it again. It's off the trail. I'll go do that.
All right, man. All right. Well, we look forward to you keeping in touch with us on that, because people are excited about your story tonight, and it really lays more, just basically compiles the ramifications of these events being true with these scientists.
Well, the Dusa base ain't far from here either, and just other stuff, and like Roswell's not that far.
Yeah,
but I know it's true. We all know it's true. Well, we've seen, we know. I heard about that. I was listening to that lady who saw this orange light in the back of her yard, like some type of opening. That was a good one.
Well, tell her to call in. Tell her to call into the show for sure. And
she did call your show.
She did. Yeah, you're right. We have thousands of callers, but now that
right.
Exactly, it makes a lot of sense. Well, appreciate you calling, man.
Yeah, she called your show. I listened to it earlier on the internet. It's about she saw some blue light in her and her husband in their backyard. Anyways, those holes that were triangle, they're about 6 feet apart. The holes I told you about were like 6 feet apart in a triangle shape.
Wow. So this thing wasn't 6 feet apart. Now that takes something, and it impressed like in a circular shape on 3 points of a triangular shape.
3 points that look triangular. Yeah.
Just cut into the ground, cut into the earth like a perfect impression.
Perfect circles, yes, and then just 3 circles, and we were the scientist, he was working up there. We asked him, he told us it was pretty nice, and then I saw the lights, so everything came together, and it's just I hope to see him again. It's interesting. I know they're out there. It's just that's all I have to say.
What? Well, we'd really love your help still if you could really help us out. We're working on a documentary in regards to this stuff, and we love when people come forward. And, just share their story. We'd love for you to come on camera and share your story to us. And we could maybe, if you could find the holes, that would be great. And we want to work with you on this. We want to do. So we got your contact information, and maybe we'll give you a call in a couple days. But yeah, if you could get out to that spot, we really like this story, and we'd love to follow up on this. So wow, appreciate you calling in. It's amazing.
I will. I'll go out there again. Okay, I'll go out there this weekend. I'll be going out there. We have a cemetery. I'll go out there. And I'll go check. Okay.
Yeah, and get it yourself on camera. That's important. Let's show the adventure, and we'll do all the editing afterwards. But yeah, film it in the best quality you can, and maybe talk in front of the camera, explain what's going on. And we only need it for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes of, just the whole adventure. We're not asking you to do a whole documentary out there full on, but man, if you could really help us out and get some on location video on that would be amazing. That'd be so helpful.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, God bless you and everybody listening. And God, the Creator of all, He's letting us. He's keeping us, and He's taking care of all of us. God bless everybody.
Absolutely, and opening up these lines and just having the free communication of allowing people to share their stories and just start getting things done in real time. There's a lot of people out there that talk and just do a lot of talking, but they don't do a lot of doing. And right there, it's just so incredible that we could maybe get something of solid evidence and, investigative reports on location just by strangers calling in, making friends, and making something happen out of nowhere. It's just it's an impossible thing to do, but then it's not. It can happen. Everybody, stay safe this weekend, and we'll be back this Monday broadcasting it. Stay tuned for more updates on our Third Phase Moon channel. Everybody on the Flash Chat, appreciate you joining us tonight and all the callers tonight. Wow, there's some great information that was shared. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. Blake Cousins. We'll see you again next time.